who you become is more important. I say who you become because that may not be what you thought at all in your life, or most times we don't even know who we're going to become. And that's the journey of our life. We are coming to understand ourselves continually. I've had so many different careers, I've had so many different directions in my life, and figuring out who I was, that journey, that spiritual journey of accepting who I was really challenging. But now at this point in my life, it's no longer that because I've landed where I'm supposed to be. I would have thought that I would have had that so many years ago and not come up to when I'm 73 years old. But that's who I've become. And what I'm going to leave now to the world is what I've created. That's what we're all meant to do. I've talked about legacy because we all will leave one. That depends on how willing we become to own our lives, how willing we are to evolve, to move to that next level of who we're supposed to be, because we all have that. We just sometimes don't do that. And I can speak to that because I challenged myself my entire life, and I would go into different careers and different, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, never finding that one place, and that one place is your soul mission. And that's what I know is true for everyone. See, because I understand that every soul is born into the world with value to give to others if we live and work through our limitations, because we're all born limited with restrictions and doubts and all. We all have them. And if we didn't have them, what would be the purpose of being here? How could we create something new? How could we evolve? How could we offer the world something? See, the way that evolution happens is that we come into the world, we live lives, we develop things, and we give it back to others. You can think of that when if you're parents, you probably think of that when you're giving it to your kids, but it's all of us. And what's happening now in our world is that we're moving through a big change. So a lot of people are really frightened and don't know what's going to go on, or maybe awakening to something within them that is new, different, and probably a little frightening. That's how it felt for me when I started receiving cosmic information. But then what it did was it took me through my entire life. I walked through my entire life healing everything, unbelievable things. And I know it's challenging for people to understand that, but I know that this is what's happened in my life. But I also know that when we do that, we have to give it to others. And that's what I'm doing. I did a channeling session yesterday, and I'd love for you to hear it. And it's called How to Change Your Life and Our World. See, because they work together. We don't live forever. Whenever we're in the world, we will create something, and we're adding and making an energetic contribution to our world. Right now, we're moving through a lot of old stuff, a lot of old beliefs, ideas, ideologies, all of that. And this is why it's chaotic. And so the best thing for any individual to do is say, wait, I'm going to discover who I am. And that's the work that I'm doing. When I started putting out my program 2 years ago, people thought this isn't possible because I made all these claims. I said, you can change your life. You will never look at yourself the same. And it was less than $500. Change your life, less than $500. And people said, no, that's not possible. And I'm saying it is. And I did it. I've done it. And people said that the things that I've healed in my life weren't possible either. Even doctors said that wasn't possible. But when you understand mind-body connection and how most of the physical illnesses and diseases that we move through are things that we are just resisting ourselves in some way, not everyone's going to have that, but that's what I did. But now they're all done. They're all healed. And at this age, to be in the best health of my life, I'm going to give that information to others. That's what we're meant to do. And that's what I'm dedicated to doing because I want to see a better world. See, because when we can move through all the old stuff, all of our biases, our hatred, our things that we were programmed to believe or that we learned along the way, then we start living the lives we're meant to have. We start to prosper. We start to give that to others, and then we see a very different world. I've talked about this quite a bit, but I know that I might not see it as long as I'm alive, but I'm going to know that the thing that is going to be the most important that I will leave is what I've created in my life. And that's what I know every single person has the ability to do. But I also understand a lot of people won't do it because we're really afraid to look at ourselves. We're a little afraid to do that mirror work, to look inside, because what's going to be there? I understand that one too, which is why I wrote the book on fear several years ago, because that's what I lived. I didn't want to look at myself at all, and I kept making all these mistakes, going in the wrong direction continually. until I figured out, oh, wait a minute, I have to get in touch with my mission here, my soul mission. What am I connected to? Because I believe we all are. And it's just a matter of time before we decide that we're tired of suffering, tired of going in the wrong place, tired of not having the life and the careers that we want to have, and then we make changes. And the only way we make those changes is in our consciousness. It's the same for every single person because we can't do anything, experience anything in our lives without looking at our consciousness, without going in that place. Now, you may think of it as mindset because that's exactly what it is. And we will each have different levels of that, but we can always move to our higher one. We can always move to one that serves us, that causes us to live better lives, and then we give something to the world. So I decided, and I did this yesterday. I put out in my Cyber Monday deal, and I said, "This is the best Cyber Monday deal you will ever have, because it's not some stuff that you're just going to find, get some cheap price on. It's something that can change your life and give you the life that you want." That's what I did, and so I opened up my 4 weeks to your best life before I changed the price, just what it should be, thousands of dollars more than what it is now. But I'd love for you to look at it. I'm going to leave all the links in the description of this video. And I'd love for you to hear the channeling session from yesterday because it does explain a lot and it will probably give you a greater understanding or peace within yourself and understanding what's occurring in the world, because we're still going to be moving through this for a while, as I've said. However, the more people who decide that they're going to love themselves, they're going to figure out their life purpose, that they're going to prosper, we start changing things in a really big way. And then I'll also leave in there, because people said this is impossible that you could do this, but there's a link to a video I'll leave in the description here, and it's on my YouTube channel as well, but it's a little 10-minute testimonial of people who are talking about exactly what's happened for them as a result of doing this work. And it's, again, it's hard to believe, but it was so inexpensive for them to do this, and it changed their lives. And that's the guarantee that I give to everyone, because I know that it works. But check it all out and just know that if you're moving through something now, it's a good thing. If you're a little afraid, if you're a little unsure, it's because you're coming into ownership of who you are, and we're all changing. The change that you want is the one that causes you to be the happiest. All right. See you guys soon.